That's a good quarter of a mile away. Is there anyone on the commission who parks his car a quarter of a mile from their residence? It's not going to be solved, and the current reality on Canal Street exists quite simply and quite directly from this commission's action within their authority, your authority, and within your ambit of control. The City of Shelton regulations require a 2-to-1 per residential unit parking ratio. You waived that for the Burn. You waived it for Avalon. You are now looking at an application that is asking you to waive it again. Why? Because the applicant doesn't wish to consider a commercial deal to provide adequate parking within 100 yards of his development that would meet the regulations. Gee, what a coincidence. My client happens to own a parking lot right there, right across the street. So let the applicant negotiate with us, abide by the city's regulations, try to alleviate some of the parking disaster that exists, and I'm literally not throwing stones. On the other hand, whenever I drive up and down Canal Street, it's throw stones at me. Try to alleviate some of the parking congestion that this commission's actions have already generated. And each time, both Mr. Geddes and Avalon comes in, they assure you, oh, this will be worked out. Oh, there will be a problem. Oh, we've got 30 parking spaces along the railroad. But you see, they didn't. And then we get to the next issue. Oh, we can build 68 residential units. I noted that the chairperson of the commission inquired, well, how many total units were approved for the area-wide development? And the answer was 600. Now add up how many total units of that approval has this commission granted approval for in the first 3 properties. Ask yourself if this was an area-wide development plan that was intended to be fair and equitable to the property owners. Just why is it that this commission has already approved more than 2/3 of the total number of units on less than 1/2 of the total footage of the land? Interesting conundrum. So I speak, and I hope somewhat more rationally, to issues that really are within the ambit of this commission's authority. And one is clearly, I suggest to you that your lack of willingness to enforce the existing Shelton regulations regarding parking has generated a daily and ongoing disaster. I suggest to you that the fire marshal's approval of this proposal, subject to his concerns about the gate, and I share Mr. Geddes and Mr. Pereira's opinion that the gate can be solved. That's not a problem. The parking cannot be solved on the proposal you have before you. And I'm not really suggesting, I'm not against the proposal. I am suggesting, however, that in the rightful and proper exercise of your authority, you respond to the applicant, acquire sufficient parking to meet the regulations, just so we will not be on step 3 of aggravating an already disastrous situation. I too have spoken to the fire marshal. The fire marshal and the fire chiefs are not at all happy about their access to Canal Street. I too have spoken to the State Traffic Commission. The State Traffic Commission is committed to the idea that it will not allow residency certificates of occupancy for further properties on Canal Street until there is a second access to Canal Street. And that second access has, alas, been closed off by, well, I guess not your employer, your master,
So I'm gonna
the
ask,
city of Shelton.
I'm gonna ask you to wrap up.
I will. Until the city does something about the access to Canal Street, you cannot solve the parking problem. And if you approve this application as submitted,